Hello, welcome to another video by Mox Marine. This is the next video in the series on building the LS motor for a boat. So this engine is going to be a 5.7 liter. It's aluminum block, but it's practically an LS1. I'm putting LS1 pistons, LS1 camshaft, crankshaft, all that stuff. It's bored out to 5.7 bore, which was LS1 stock size. So I'm not going to go into all the details of putting this together because I've got other videos that show how to put pistons in engines, but the differences are with LS engines, there's several differences. One is that the rings are a little bit narrow. They're metric size, so they're like 1.5 millimeter wide, and the oil ring is much smaller. But the fact these rings are much thinner and smaller, it means they're easier to install. They're a whole lot easier to install than the other rings. So I can put the rings on a little faster. So the other thing is, by the way, these are Silverlight high protected pistons. Let me show you the box. See what you want to buy if you're trying to build a budget motor. These are not terrible pistons. They're not top of the line. They're cast. So we can get a number. There you go. 3498 HC standard Silverlight coated pistons. So like I say, these are high protected. Silverlight's a pretty well-known brand. Not forged, but good quality cast. So anyway, another difference is that if you notice, there's no rod bolt sticking out here coming back at you. In a small block Chevy, you'd have rod bolts, and you put rubber protectors on there before you drop into silver. These don't have the bolts. The bolts are in the cap. So in this case, when you put the piston in, you got to be a lot more careful as you push it down to make sure the rod doesn't slam into the crank. So if you look down through there, I've got the crank as far away as I can get it. And so I'll reach in there and guide that down with my fingers. One of the benefits of I'm doing things a little bit faster because I'm not having to flip this engine over to put the rod on. So I'm just pushing it down and putting the cap off the bottom and hand tighten it up. And then when I flip it over, I'll torque everything down at one time. But anyway, so you just have to be careful when you drop this in that you don't let this rod hit the crankshaft. So another difference is these are called cracked cap. So you notice there's a very rough, it's like a broken part right there. That's designed that way. So what that means is you must put the cap, the associated with this rod, back on in the exact same rod in the exact same manner. It will absolutely not work if you do not have the matching cap or in the matching direction. And that absolutely, it's kind of like a no-brainer. You cannot mix the caps up. You'll notice you'll know immediately when it doesn't fit because they won't go back together. It won't go back together smoothly anyway. So that's very important to do. All right. So I've got the rings on here, about to oil them and then put them down the cylinder. I've already done 1, 3, I'm working on 5 now. And really there's not a whole lot more difference from putting a small block Chevy to doing an LS motor. Since the rings are smaller and not as wide, there's not as much friction. So this engine, I can almost turn this engine over by hand. So do it. See, I'm moving it by hand right now. If this was a small block, I wouldn't be able to move that by hand. I'd have to have a wrench on that crank right now to turn it. What that means is probably less friction on the motor, probably more horsepower is what it boils down to. So, all right, well, let me go and get this piston in, and then once I get in, I'll show you how I do it on the bottom end. Okay, I'm now halfway done. I've got 1, 3, 5, and 7 in, and one thing, like I was saying, you got to make sure you get your cap, the crack cap mark, the crack cap orientation just right so that the caps will fit on the rods. It's very important. As far as the orientation of the rods on the piston, I did mount these pistons a long time ago. I don't remember the exact reason why I mounted them the way I did, but if I figure it out, I'll put it in the description of the video. In other words, why is the rod facing this flat facing front instead of facing back on this side? I think the flats face front on this side and face back on the other side on the even cylinders. I've confirmed that, but I don't really exactly remember the reason I put them on that way. But that was established when I put the rods on the pistons probably a year or 2 ago. All right, so got to have it done. Like I was saying, at this time, I got 4 pistons in. The friction is too great. I can't turn this crankshaft by hand anymore. So what I'm going to do is pull this gear off with the gear puller. There's a key in here. You can see the key right down there. Once I get this gear off, the key will be there. You can grab you use a crescent wrench and open it just enough, it's the same size as this diameter here, and use the crescent wrench. When it hits that flat of that key, you will grab it and you can rotate it with a crescent wrench. The other way is to put bolts in the flywheel and turn it back there, but it's easier to just do it from here. So, but I got to get this gear off to do that. So these holes here are only in the Gen 4 blocks. Might be in some later Gen 3s, but these holes here are for a chain guide, a nylon chain guide that helps the chain, keep the chain from flopping around in there. And so I'll be getting one of those and putting that in. That's a new feature of the newer style Gen 4 blocks, I believe. All right, gonna move over and start doing the even side now. Okay, as I was saying, so I got the gear off. Now I can rotate the crankshaft with the crescent wrench. So I'm quitting for the evening. I've got this side taped up to keep dirt out of it, and I'll put a towel over that to keep dust from settling in there. The bottom sides, I'm not too worried about it because it's facing down and dust doesn't settle on it. I'm just trying to keep from stirring up dust in my shop. Okay, continue with this piston install on this LS1 engine for a boat. I just come to a problem and I'm gonna have to stop what I'm doing and take all these pistons back out. So let me explain what I just found. So I'm prepping, I've got 4 pistons in. I've got 1, 3, 5, and 7 in, no issues there. I'm doing 2, 4, 6, and 8 now, and I just happen to be doing 8 because the rod is already, or the journal was already down there, and so I just decided to do number 8 first. So grab number 8 piston and to clean it off, I grabbed number 8 piston and I was disassembling it. I took the cap off here. You can see the cap's gone now. This rod bearing was already in here, and it's been in there since I bought these rods. I bought these rods about 2, maybe 3 years ago off Facebook Marketplace, and they all looked great to me when I bought them. They came out of an LQ4, they look good from the outside, and I never did check them. I never didn't think I needed to check them because usually when you take a engine apart, the rod comes out, the bearing here comes out with the rod, and you just put the cap back on. I usually leave the rod bearings in there to protect this surface in there, and put the rod cap back on and then wait till I need them. And then when I need them, I disassemble it, take the old bearings out, throw the bearings in the trash, clean them up, put new rod bearings in it, and rock on. So as I was cleaning this piston, I disassembled it, took this bearing out, and this is what I found. This rod's been beat to hell. That is unrepairable. I cannot fix that. Some rods, so this surface here and this surface here are cracked cap. These are cracked cap rods. If it was a small block Chevy with a machined surface here and here, they could machine a little bit off the surface and then rebore this inner piece and get rid of this kind of damage. But these rods can't be repaired. The big end of this rod can't be repaired that way because you can't machine this surface. It's designed to never be machined. So when you see this kind of damage, and it's definitely damaged because now that I noticed when I took that bearing out, it wasn't in here tight. It just kind of was sitting in here and fell out. So what happens, the person who sold me these rods basically ripped me off because they put the bearing back here to hide this damage. This damage is severe. I mean, it's like beat on bad. You see, it's like almost like a crack. It's not a crack, but it's a pretty deep gouge right there, and that's going to weaken that. There won't be support. There will not be support for the bearing on the edge right here with that big gouge in it right there. So what that basically means is that all these pistons and rods are now, I'm not going to say junk, but I'm not going to sell this to my customer. I'm going to have to take them all back out. And what I've decided to do is I've been doing a little research on the internet to see what my options are. I'm going to keep these pistons and rods for myself, for a personal engine I'll build for myself. I'm not going to sell them to anybody. I'm going to press this piston off this rod and try to save it. If I can, I'll have to buy one new piston. I'll buy myself another single rod like this and build my own engine with what I'm taking out of this motor. But what I am going to do is to keep going with this project. Can't do it today or anytime soon, like within the next few days. But these are what's called Gen 4 rods. I have a set of 8 of these, and I'm fixing to check all of them to make sure they're good in shape. But if they're not, I'm back in square one where I'm at now. But These are Gen 4 rods. I have no reason to believe there will be damage inside, but these are these are like from a, I think this came out of a, maybe come out of the LC9 that I'm building, but you see there's a little ring in there. That's you can see it right in that side of the hole. There's a little snap ring, and that keeps that rod, that wrist pin from coming out of this piston. These are what's known as floating pistons, floating pin pistons. They're much better. They're high quality or high performance pistons. And GM went to that to help eliminate what they call it, piston slap on the. They were known, General Motors engines, LS motors were known in the early 2000s up to about 2005 for having piston slap. And then what it is to know a knocking sound when it's cold. It goes away when it's warm. And their theory in the piston slap was that these skirts, a lot of piston skirts will come on down to here, where my thumb's at right here. But these LS engines have shorter piston skirts. And that makes it easier for the piston to rock back and forth inside the bore. So to fix that problem, they went with these what's called floating pins. So there's a floating joint. So a normal piston, let me back up here. A press fit piston, this pin is basically, I heat the rod up very hot, and the pin slides through. But once it's cooled, this rod is now locked onto that pin in it's an interference fit, or otherwise known as a press fit. It will not, so that rod is grabbed to hold that wrist pin right now, and it's moving it back and forth. These engines are not press fit. You can assemble them without heat. So that pin slides inside this rod here. It's called there's a bushing in there, and that pin is free to slide back and forth in that rod. These are a better quality rod. These were used in the LS6, which was the high performance Corvette engine. But these are known as Gen 4 rods, and they're also beefier. They're stouter. They're supposed to be rated for over 1,000 horsepower, and those are rated for about 700 horsepower. So basically, this customer is going to get a much better rod when it's all said and done. The downside is it's going to take me some time to fix this. So what I'm going to have to do is I just checked some prices. So I can get a set of LS6 pistons, floating pin pistons for that rod for the same price I paid for these press fit rods or press fit pistons, which is fantastic news to me. I just checked on Rockauto, and it's called, so instead of the part number being 3498 HC, it's 3499 HC. Same bore, nothing else changed on the piston. It's just got a floating pin piston. So that's what I have to do. The solution to this problem is to buy new pistons, put these rods on the pistons, and start putting these pistons back in. I'll have to undo all this work, take these pistons back out, and start back over. It's bad news for a little bit of a setback, but in the long run, the customer's going to get a better engine, a high-performance Corvette LS6 motor. I'm no longer building an LS1, now I'm building an LS6. All right, thanks for watching. And so the lesson to be learned from this, and I've preached this before, is when you buy parts, check the condition of the parts when you buy them. I'm notorious for not doing that. I'm assuming that people are honest and selling me the right stuff. And every single rod I bought except this one was okay. I just checked the rest of them to make sure they were okay, and they were. So he sold me one rod that beat the hell right here, really bad. That rod is now trash. So I've got to find a matching rod to go with that piston, and then save the rest of these pistons for myself. All right, thanks for watching. Again, lesson learned, you need to check, if you buy, especially if you're buying used parts, you need to check your parts to make sure they're in good condition when you buy them, or before you buy them, actually. If I'd thought about it, I would have said take the rod bearings out and let me see the condition of the rods before I bought them, but I didn't do that. I mean, I personally don't even do that. When I take pistons out and I put the rod bearings back in here, because I want to keep this surface from getting banged up, and I keep the rod bearings in there until I'm ready to use them again. So I didn't think twice about checking it and see if this was damaged. But somebody was trying to hide this damage by putting the rod bearing back in there and selling it. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll get this thing back on the road as soon as I get some new pistons in here.